Yeah.
No challenges.
No. As ready as we're going to be.
Linda's ready.
I like it.
Hi, composers!
You never know. Yeah, great. And Eric is going to do it. All right.
All right, we're good. Between the person in front of you, that's good. Okay, you take about 4
So the total for both funds was $4,970.20.
I'm kind of at a loss for words because this group of people is so special. The amount of enthusiasm, the amount of organization, the amount of effort is just phenomenal. And we as conductors, I'm sure Alex feels the same thing when you're sending that energy back. Oh, it's just like being in heaven. So thank you for all you've done. I do have an order for you, which is be sure you enjoy what you're doing. Don't let anything stop you from enjoying playing those bells, from being part of the music, for sending that out to those people. What a gift it's going to be, all right? So have a good time. And also watch us. All right? We're going to have fun. Have a good time. Good evening and welcome to the 2023 Bayview Week of Handbells concert. We've been waiting for this all year. So glad to be with you. Our musical ensemble is made up of 105 handbell musicians representing 25 states and Canada, performing on approximately $750,000 worth of equipment. I want you to know that preparing and performing this concert for most of us is a highlight of our handbell ringing year, and we want to thank the Bayview Association for their support and their gracious welcome. We're so pleased to be part of your musical summer, so thank you so much. Something very special about tonight's concert is that for 7 of the 11 pieces you're going to hear, the composers are right up here performing. And I've asked them to introduce their music before we bring it so you can learn a little bit from them, and I think you'll enjoy that. So we're going to start the program with a piece entitled Toccata Festivo by Caleb Onstead, one of our ringers, and he's going to share a little bit about the piece. Caleb?
All right, welcome everybody. How are you guys doing? Thank you for being here. Thank you. So, as I was saying, my name is Caleb Onstead, and my piece is called Toccata Festivo, but I'm going to talk a little bit about what the subtitle of the piece is, and that is Etude Number 1, A Study in Rhythm and Endurance. So, this piece is actually about 5 years old, and at the time I wrote it, there was nothing in the handbell literature for any kind of etudes, that is, pieces of music that can be performed in concert, but that highlight or showcase a specific skill or have a specific technical purpose. So what my concept was for this piece was to do an intense rhythmic piece that deals with endurance playing. Chopin has written many piano etudes in this manner. There are a couple etudes by Debussy that take this concept that really just deal with lack of tension. And most pieces take a little time to develop. With a 0 to 60 kind of concept, this one kind of starts at a hard 80. So it's kind of like getting an adrenaline shot. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and thank you all for being here. This is Toccata Festivo, Etude Number 1.
It has become a tradition every year to include a piece by Carl Wiltse, who was associated with the Bayview Week of Handbells for 40 years, serving as the director for 14 years. How many of you knew Carl Wiltse and maybe his wife Pamela Bays? Yes. We miss them both terribly. They were such important people to us. In 1999, Carl wrote a beautiful arrangement of the 16th century melody, Lo How a Rose. You know, Lo how a rose a blooming. You heard that, Carol? Such a beautiful melody. Well, a few years back, I asked Carl if he would be willing to let me add 2 flutes to his arrangement and also to expand the range to use the resources we have here at the Bayview Week of Handbells and also add a 3rd verse. And very kindly, he said, yes, go for it. So I did. And one thing you're going to hear on this piece, which is quite special, is for the 2nd verse, in this very front row, one choir is going to be playing a set of Whitechapel bells, which are made in London, England. They have more harmonics than the American-made bells that we play on most of the time. So I think you will find that interesting. We're being joined by Martha Matthews and Jennifer Kupak up here. So we hope you will enjoy Lo How a Rose by my mentor and friend Carl and myself. This year we're celebrating the 40th anniversary of the founding of the Donald E. Alured Original Music Award. And we use the interest from that fund each year in Don's memory to commission an original piece of handbell music. The first is by Jason Krug, and I'd like to simply read what he says about the piece because it's very interesting. It's a very unique piece. My piece is entitled After Silence, based on the Aldous Huxley quote, "After silence, that which comes closest to expressing the inexpressible is music." I've always been fascinated by the role silence plays in music and how musicians tend to shy away from silence as somehow anti-music or not a true part of the music. I feel like this is just a reflection of modern life, where many people feel the need to fill every waking moment with some sort of noise, sound, activity, or distraction. There is something powerful in silence, in existing even for a mere moment alongside a vacuous nothing. It can be reflective, emotional, and even a bit scary. I decided to punctuate this piece with several moments of silence, many more than one would come to expect in a normal piece. So much music in the modern world is a solid wall of sound that even a single bit of silence has impact. So my hope was to give silence just as much chance to change the story and the meaning of the piece as the notes themselves. As you will see, the piece isn't truly over until it's over, and the conductor says it's over. I like that part. This is the only piece I have ever written where the last measure is actually a whole note rest with a fermata, where that final silence isn't just part of the sound dying away, but an actual integral part of the piece itself. So this is After Silence. Thank you. You did very well with the silence. Did it scare you? You're okay? It was a wonderful piece to work on, very complicated for us, but wonderful. The next piece, Si tu verras fait, is arranged by one of our ringers, Brian Seaman, and I've asked him to come over here and tell you about the piece.
This arrangement came about during the pandemic. The church I was working at the time, this tune, Si tu verras fait, was one that was much beloved by the congregation to the point where they sang it at the end of almost every single Sunday service. And it was a great community moment that everybody joined in, singing in Spanish and in English. They grabbed random percussion instruments around the sanctuary and joined in. And so when the services during the pandemic went virtual, we did a combination of virtual handbell ensembles, both of my actual handbell ensemble at the church, and also with myself, where I actually recorded all parts myself. And so this arrangement came about because we were looking for a piece to include in a Sunday worship service, and I was like, you know what, that piece, which was a constant earworm, because again, we sang it every Sunday, I was like, that would actually work really well on bells. And so I arranged it for myself, basically, and then played all 12 parts and recorded, which that video is still up on YouTube if you'd like a laugh. And so I'm much honored and grateful to have it performed by 105 different individuals at this week's Bayview Week of Handbells. So please enjoy Si tu verras fait.
If you have attended this event in the last few years, you will have gotten to know a young man named Matthew Compton from out in the Pacific Northwest. We've performed a lot of his music, and maybe if you were here last year, you saw him conduct his piece Aurora, which I commissioned for my sweet wife, Nancy. Well, when I was putting together the repertoire for this year, I asked Matthew to submit a piece, asking for something that was more calm, more intimate, and he sent me a piece entitled Transitions of the Heart. When I first read through it, I fell in love with it. It's absolutely a gorgeous piece, and I hope you will feel the same way about it. This is Transitions of the Heart by Matthew Compton. In addition to a piece by Carl Wiltsey every year, we also include a piece by Don Alured. How many of you knew Don Alured, who was a cottager here? Yeah. He was the founder of this event, of course. Started out as just a teaching workshop so people could learn how to ring handbells, and it's developed into something wonderful. He directed it from 1978 to 2002, and then was director emeritus from 2003 to 2010. Probably many of you know, but he had a boat down in the marina, was named Silverthorn, and when I came here as a ringer many, many years ago, he would offer a ride out into a cruise out into the bay for about 10 ringers at a time at the end of the day, and we'd go out for a cruise on Silverthorn. Well, when that boat no longer could make its way out to sea, he bought Silverthorn II, the second boat. And if you come up near the podium after the concert and look down below here, you'll see the ship's bell from Silverthorn II. We use that bell to tell the ringers it's time to come up to the stage and prepare to ring. After a break, we'll ring that. In the morning, we ring it. And it's kind of like Don is still kind of calling us back to do what he started here and to bring handbells to hopefully something that you know, he strived for. He was just an amazing, amazing man. He was Mr. Handbell. So this piece is not named after his boat. It's actually named after a mountain, Silverthorn Mountain. And the full title is Silverthorn for one of God's most majestic creations in the Colorado Rockies. This is Silverthorn, and we are adding Alex Giebert on the percussion, the timpani, and then Patty Barnes at the organ. So, thank you. we don't learn this music just for ourselves. We learn it to share it with people. So thank you for being here so that we can do that. Our next piece, Huron Carol, our arranger is with us, and Catherine McMichael is going to share a little bit about it.
My name is Catherine McMichael, and I'm from Saginaw, Michigan, so I'm one of your neighbors, actually. Yeah. I am very fortunate to have conducted the Bells on High Bell Choir at First United Methodist Church in Saginaw for 22 years. The Huron Carol is a piece, it was a carol written by Father Jean de Brebeuf, who was a French Jesuit priest. This was probably, the words to the piece were written in about 1643. And it had a lot of permutations of time and was eventually put to the tune of a French carol. But Father Brebeuf crossed the Lake Huron in a canoe to minister to the Huron Indians, which were in southern Ontario and in southeast Michigan. So I thought that was a really good Michigan connection for this piece, for our choir, and for the concert. And it was televised, you know, so that was really cool. I mean, we had to be great, and we were. And so, I mean, we were just fantastic, and this group is amazing, and it's such a pleasure to hear them play it. I'd like to just tell you the words of the carol, because they're so cool, you know. 'Twas in the moon of wintertime, when all the birds had fled, that mighty Gitche-Manidou sent angel choirs instead. Before their light, the stars grew dim, and wandering hunters heard the hymn, Jesus, your King is born, Jesus is born, in excelsis Gloria. Merry Christmas, everybody.
has become kind of a tradition also to play a piece with just the bass handbells. Last year we did the entertainer. Okay. And this year we're doing an arrangement, and I'm going to let the arranger, Larry Sue, tell you about it.
So I'm Larry Sue. I live in Holland, Michigan. I'm originally Californian and have enjoyed being in this state tremendously. So in this piece, as Fred said, we're using the bass bells. That's basically about half of what's up here. So maybe $375,000 of equipment, but actually a lot more. I used to lead a group called Loading Zone, the world's first bass-only handbell ensemble. And so this is the kind of picture of what kind of humor we had in the group. And our modus operandi was usually to take pieces and drop them to, an octave lower. Here we can do it almost 2 octaves lower. And so that's why this is the Dance of the Sugar Plum Sumo Fairy. Picture the Disney hippo or something. And the thing which is not on your program is that music frequently has an expression description on the top measure, the first page. And on this piece, that word is heavily. Here's the Dance of the Sugar Plum Sumo Fairy.
And now it's time for the second commissioned work on the concert. And Alex is going to come down and tell you about it and also direct it.
Video game music is not just a bunch of bleeps and bloops anymore like it used to be. Video game music is now cinematic. It's really on the level of film score in quality now. And one game that I played recently that's pretty new and has fantastic music is called Undertale. I just discovered it like 2 years ago. So I was inspired to write a piece that, well, it's not based on actual music from that game. It's inspired by it, and especially in the flavor of video game music, which tends to have like a lot of repetitive, very memorable melodies. So that's what we're going to hear in this new piece called Determination. And the piece, it tells a story kind of like that game does. And it's a story of we'll call it a determined soul. Someone who is facing a lot of adversity, but a more complicated story. This might be the story that resonates with you in your life. This is a story of a person who's been through hardship, and the beginning of the piece has a lot of turmoil, as you'll hear. We'll hear our main theme come out of the bells eventually, and that will carry us through. But we'll stay in a minor key, and we'll feel a little intense. We will need a lot of determination, in fact, to get through it. And finally, we get to a sort of the lowest point, maybe the middle act of the story, where the character is just dejected. You'll hear a big dissonant chord, followed by the first time the piece finally slows down into a pretty sad moment, a moment when only one bell is left ringing. And then, what do we hear though? After that, we hear some hopeful tunes that we heard before, some secondary themes, maybe representing friends and family that have helped us through adversities in the past. These themes begin to rise to the triumphant moment of the piece, when those themes are married with the main theme that we heard earlier, but then a new triumphant theme emerges to take us to the end. So I hope you enjoy this new piece, Determination. It's the world premiere of the piece. I'm so grateful to be able to do it here, and just thankful and grateful to Fred for allowing me this opportunity. And I hope you enjoy Determination.
I'm Sandy Ethan, and like Fred, I came over the pond, but mine was Lake Michigan. This song, La Vie en Rose, is part of the movie Sabrina, and the translation, and Fred can correct me, is life in pink, meaning when you're in love, everything looks beautiful, right? Looking through rose-colored glasses. So back in 2018, Twin Cities Bronze out of Minneapolis said to me, we want you to do a commissioned piece. And I said, well, what would you like? Do you want an original? Do you want an arrangement? They said, do anything you want. And I said, oh, can I do La Vie en Rose? And they said, yes, you can. But I think they did such a beautiful job on the song, and I'm so excited to have Fred add his Frenchness and a little ooh la la to it. So thank you.
Sandra, you make our life pink all the time. Now, our last piece is very interesting. It should be interesting to you because it has a Bayview connection. And I'm going to let Larry Sue, who he and his wife Carla have arranged this piece, tell you a little bit about it.
I'd like to tell you a story of two cottages. The first one is up on Forest and Buffett. It's also known as the Smiles Cottage. In that cottage, there is a blind lyricist, J. Will Callahan, who wrote the lyrics for a song called Smiles. If you've wandered around Bayview, you've seen that sign. And that's what got us started on the piece. We thought, let's look it up and see if we can make something for handbells to play. And it came to the piece. We found the music because it was public domain. And we made an arrangement, and I sent it to Fred. And Fred said, this is wonderful. It's got a Bayview tie. People will love it. But do you think you could make the ending a little more exciting? Callahan's song, he did it with Lee Roberts, and the song was an incredible bestseller in the late 1910s and early 1920s. It sold 5 million copies. The second cottage is ours. Carla and I became cottage owners in 2019, late 2019, so it was a rather frantic effort to get all the recommendations and the membership review and all that out of the way. But it all happened, and here we are. A friend of ours from the Week of Handbells made us a sign which is hanging on our cottage. And it says, "A maestro and his muse live here." But whatever I happen to be, I still have my muse up here. And she's probably going to blush madly. But she's the one who keeps me honest when I write music. She says things like, "Can you actually play that?" So that's... Many composers in the room would agree that without our own personal muses, we wouldn't be doing the kind of work we do as well as we can do it, because they encourage us, they make us think, they make us innovate. To my muse, I quote from the song, "There are smiles that make us happy. There are smiles that make us blue. There are smiles that steal away the teardrops as the sunbeams steal away the dew. There are smiles that have a tender meaning that the eyes of love alone may see. And the smiles that fill my life with sunshine are the smiles that you give to me." Thank you, dear.
This is our last song, of course, and we thank you for being here, for letting us share our music with you. And at the end, it's a tradition for us to have a choral benediction. The Lord bless you and keep you. And you, of course, are welcome to sing along if you would like to.
I've contracted her to do this annually. So the concert as a listener was phenomenal. Just absolutely, you guys did an incredible job. It was beautiful, it was musical. Love the selections. So with great gratitude again, we thank Maestro Gramon. So on behalf of all of us, we have a little gift for you. Thank you again. And we wish you safe travels back to France. And all of you ringers, again, it's been a joy. And do you have something to say?
Yes.
I do. I want to thank you. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you had a wonderful musical experience and that you leave a bit richer than when you came. It was so wonderful for me and for Nancy. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks again for everything. Fred and Nancy head back to France on Tuesday, so we wish them also the best. And that's it, I think.
That's it?
Top of the page. That's good. That's good. It's gonna work. Better. Okay. Too much movement on the fast stuff. Just relax, play close if it's fast, watch as much as you can, and then we're gonna be fine. Here's measure 144. Boom, boom. Just lock it right in. 1, 2, 3. Better. Okay, yeah. You gotta watch out. If you're playing mouse, playing wherever they want. Not wherever they want. It's where you think one is. It's a good try. Okay? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Remember the music is up here. In fact, it's right there. Okay, that's where at least that's where the groove is, right? The music, of course, is in this whole room. Where it's not is right there on your score. 144. Try to watch me at the important spots. 1, 2. Yeah, if you didn't stamp there, mark it, because that's really important, but mostly everybody did. Back to page 19, please. Okay, let's pause there. That's better. That's better. That's better, that's good. That was good. Thank you. Let's pause. Try 200, and we'll clean that up a little bit. Here's 200. That's better. Yes. Yeah. Be ready for the marks. Be ready. You know where it goes. Now you can hear it, right? Hopefully you're at the point now where you're listening, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember how that sounds. Then you can place it where it goes. One more time at 200. Yeah, no pressure. But remember, 204 is my favorite measure of this piece. I kind of want you to do it just right for me. So. Let's make something more out of that. 3. Yes. Okay, now menu. It says tentatively there. I think you played, I didn't mean this to sound like an insult. I think you played that really well, and you played it right, and you played it solidly, but you like still gave it that sort of innocent quality. So I think it was just right. Keep it like that, because it was correct. But yet it gave off that feeling of tentativeness, which is perfect, because we don't want to be really tentative when we play, right? All right. So we got to work on the accelerando. That's what we got to work on. So here's 235, the first 8/8 bar of this page. Okay, here we go. 235. 1, 2, 3. The treachery is from the bass mallets. Sorry, it's my fault, not yours. The bass mallets, going into the mallets is what makes it difficult. Ba, 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 ba. Really line up together on the downbeat of 257, like I mentioned earlier, and we're gonna be good. 253. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. No. Good. Okay, yes. That's a good. Okay. High trebles rush. I told you might be mad. See, I kissed her. Ready. Now it's going to be a little more exposed to like hear it now, so it's going to actually be harder to lock in maybe, but or rather it'll be more obvious if you don't lock in, but that's okay because we've got it. We almost just had it right now. Yes, oh man. And that's feeling like, oh, good. Thank you. So good, you guys. Okay, enjoy break. Who's D6 there? Can I hear D6 again? Okay, cool. Da, 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 not da 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 da. Just play the accents, that's the melody. Again, why didn't I write it that way? I don't know. Okay. 285, 1, 2, accent, go. Yes. We're going to start at 285, and I'd love if you played all the notes and rhythms and dynamics correctly to the end. What do you think? Each of you is allowed one mistake from 285 to the end, okay? You can have one mistake. Okay, when you do, raise your hand. Okay. Here we go, 285. 1, 2, ready. Yeah, woo! Yes. Right, let's get that ready.
which was the only thing that made me sad about that last round. Everything else made me happy. Okay, let's try to land that. Here's 312. So we just had a fermata. Don't worry about the page turn. We're just practicing like 2 bars. We just did the fermata. Here we go. Okay, can you land that? Yes, there we go. At this point, I just give you a 3-4. And during the 3-4, you lift. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. We made it! Yes. You see that. Da, 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 da. Those are your troubles. And but you have friends to help you in the fight, you know. And so your friends might be kind of silly, and one of them goes like, da, 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 da.
So 60, da da di da di da di. Yeah. And then we get to measure 61. The R is for everybody. Does that make sense? And then there was another question in measure 68. 68 for the E5 that's plucked on the end of 2. Don't do a pluck lift. I think she would have put one in there if she wanted that to sustain. There's an E natural up above, so we're fine. So you're going to be ringing the E on the end of 1 and then plucking it on the end of 2, but not lifting it.
Fred?
Yes.
Still okay?
To think about before this piece, after that piece, and then start breathing, start relaxing, and thinking down, okay? Yeah. But that's what we do. It's cool. So, let's give it a go. Try that again. The ensemble's beautiful. Now the inflection. Can we try that one again? For 16? Do it again. Ready, and. You follow me on beat string 4. Right there again. And let that one be a little more secure, a little louder. Yeah? Okay. Right on measure 3, excuse me. Ready, and. Oh, okay. Check notes. Important it is, just like can play, how important it is to really don't go away. Don't go away. I have this thing that bothers me so much. When we did Herr-Liebster Jesu here, it was exquisite, and there's one place where I just waited, and one ringer was not looking, just rang early. And it doesn't need to be. Check in. Be here. All right? Be with Alex. Be with me. Be here. Okay? Okay, this is good. Here we go. Ready, and... There we go. Good. Go back to the beginning. Be insistent on doing it right. Okay? Let's do for measure 5. Measure 5. Okay? Can you see that I'm getting a bit more excited there? Watch. Ready? And... High notes. High notes. Pick up the right bells. Ready? And... Good. From the beginning again. Okay? So give me more. Give me more on the main beats 1, 2, and 3. Here we go. Stay with me. Ready, and... That's it, good. Good. Go and... There you go. That's it. Do that every time. Okay, no. Which is D da 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 D da da D da da. Here we go. Ready and go and... No. We still have a D6 and 7, it's too early. Go and... That's it. Do it again. Remember that feeling. Remember that feeling. Ready, go and... Here we go, measure 14. Ready and go and... Nice. You've forgotten how we do that measure.